Welcome to the Lumber Capital Combine. Workout 2 is tuck that. 4 time with a 9-minute cap. 54 kettlebell goblet lunges, 65/54 calorie row. In order to pull on that rower, one partner must be holding a tuck hold. And then finally, 65 synchronized A jumps to 12 inches. The RX kettlebell weight for the goblet lunge is 70 for males and 53 for females, and for scaled it is 53 for males and 35 for females. And this video is the briefing for the event. There will be no in-person briefing the day of the competition, so it's your responsibility to know all the standards and be able to uphold them when you actually go on the floor. Again, this is a 100-point event. Let's go over standards. The lunge. The lunge must be held in a goblet position, having both hands on the kettlebell with the kettlebell in front of the body. And there's any number of holding configurations that you can see right now that are all valid options. Any of those 3 would be perfectly fine. And each partner will have a kettlebell and you'll be working at the same time. So for the lunging, you'll be doing 9 lengths, each of those lengths having 6 steps. You cannot start each of those lengths until both partners have completed the previous 6 steps. So to be clear, this is not synchronized. You don't have your knee down at the same time or anything like that. You just sort of have to wait until the other person finishes their 6 lunges so you can turn around and go back the way you came and start the next length of lunges. So again, it'll be 6 steps. You'll wait for your partner to get done. You'll turn around and lunge back. 9 total lengths, each of those being 6 steps. Besides starting each length at the same time, again, there's no other sort of requirements for that. After the final length of lunging, you're going to set down your kettlebells into a taped box at the end of your lane, opposite from where you started, because again, it's 9 lengths, so you'll be ending at the opposite end of the floor. So that's the lunge. Let's go over the row and tuck hold. The tuck hold will be formed with your hands on 2 different stacks of 12-inch bumper plates. These are the same stacks of bumper plates that the athletes are going to be doing their A jumps on, and they're going to be in front of the rower so the athlete can actually view them. The athlete pulling on the rower will be able to view the athlete who is performing the tuck hold. So the athlete's palms have to be on the top of the bumpers. Doesn't matter if their hands are flat or kind of over the edge. That doesn't really matter, but you have to be able to have the palms on, and then the feet have to be off the floor. That's the tuck hold requirement. Doesn't matter where your knees are positioned or anything like that. If your feet are crossed or uncrossed, none of those specifics matter. You just have to keep the feet off the floor the whole time. And again, to be clear, if one athlete is holding a tuck hold, that's the only time the other athlete can be pulling the handle of the rower. So how we're going to operate this is we're going to have a judge. They're going to be positioned where they can both see the monitor and the athlete pulling on the rower, but then that person can also see the judge's hand. So the judge, as soon as they see that the athlete is not meeting the standard anymore for the tuck hold, but they just choose to come out of it because it's a strategic break or their feet are touching because they're failing, the judge's hand will go up into the air. As soon as the judge's hand is in the air, the athlete on the rower may not pull any more times on that rower. They have to wait until the athlete either re-enters the tuck hold or they switch with the partner. Again, you don't have to switch when you break the tuck hold. That's up to the athletes how they break that apart. But if the judge's hand is in the air, that means that the athlete is not meeting the tuck hold requirement, and the athletes cannot pull on the rower handle. If at any point an athlete pulls on the rower handle after the judge's hand has gone into the air, the judge will administer a 2-rep penalty, a 2-calorie penalty immediately onto the end of the row. So if, for example, if it was a guy and they have 65 calories to a row, then they're gonna have to row 67 calories. So it's administered right away. So again, that the athlete needs to be diligent to, as soon as that the judge's hand is in the air, to not pull anymore on the rower handle. Besides that, the athletes can split this up. They can kind of choose how they do this, where they can have one athlete do the majority of the rowing and other athlete holding tuck hold most of the time, or again, broken up however they want. It's really split however they please. And then once the rower actually shows a lot of calories, then obviously the athletes will then move to the A jumps. The A jumps, each athlete will be using their own 12-inch stack of bumper plates. The requirement here is that the rep begins with the athlete essentially squatting to what would be like a target. You can think of people have done this a lot with like bed balls, where you squat down, touch your butt or your like upper hamstring, any part of that your butt area to the surface, in this case to the bumper plates, and then you will jump 2-footed jump on top of the stack of bumper plates, and you have to stand tall with knee and hip extension on the top of the stack of bumper plates. The synchro component is only at the top. So you have to be reaching full extension, knees and hips, standing tall on top of both stacks of bumper plates. Both partners have to do that at the same time, and then you can begin your next rep. So again, the rep starts at the bottom and is credited at the top of the rep. So you do have to have that 2-foot takeoff onto the top of the bumper plates, but you don't have to jump off. You may step down or hop off, whatever you plan to do or choose to do is perfectly fine. For scoring, obviously fastest time wins because it's for time. However, if you get capped, the partnership that gets through the most reps total will be placed the next highest. If you've got questions about this event, be sure to comment below on YouTube, and we will try to answer as many questions as we can. And again, go through and see if other people have already asked that question. Besides that, if you got a question or an issue, a dispute the day of the event, be sure to go to the head table. That's where you make those. Besides that, we'll see you in August, and best of luck on Tuck That.